Walk into an Apple store and they'll gladly upsell you a $1,200 iPad Pro. Best Buy, a $900 Samsung tablet. But here's the truth. On Amazon, you can find tablets for less than half that price with sharper displays, bigger batteries, and features Apple makes you pay extra for. These brands don't have flashy logos, which is why most people miss them. I'll show you 5 tablets that outperform their price tags and could save you hundreds. Number 2 brings back a feature Apple removed, and number 1's screen rivals devices twice its cost. Let's start with the standout. Number 5. Xiaomi Poco Pad. For just $230, the Xiaomi Poco Pad brings more value than most tablets twice its price. It sports a 12.1-inch 2.5K IPS display with 120Hz refresh rate and Dolby Vision, offering flagship-level clarity and smoothness at a budget price. Watching Netflix or YouTube on it feels far more high-end than it has any right to. And with 600 nits of brightness, it's perfectly usable outdoors without constant glare. Under the hood, it runs on the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 processor, backed by 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. And here's what really stands out. You can expand that storage with a microSD card, something you won't find on an iPad. Performance holds steady across multitasking, streaming, and gaming, though the most demanding titles might need toned-down graphics for smoother play. Battery life is another strong point. The 10,000 mAh cell keeps it running for up to 12 hours and supports 33 watts fast charging, bringing it back to full in about 2.5 hours. Add in 4 stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos, a headphone jack for those who still prefer wired sound, and a solid aluminum build that weighs just 570 grams, and you're looking at a tablet that feels like it slipped through the cracks of the pricing system. It shouldn't be this good for under $250. Number 4. Xiaomi Pad 7. If you don't need a massive 12-inch screen and prefer something lighter with more punch, the Xiaomi Pad 7 is the clear upgrade. Coming in around $320, it strikes an ideal mix of performance, size, and portability. Its 11.2-inch display is stunning, 3.2K resolution, HDR10, Dolby Vision, and a super smooth 144Hz refresh rate. Scrolling is effortless, gaming feels incredibly fluid, and the colors are bright and detailed, like what you'd see on a flagship device. Powering it is the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3 chip with up to 12GB of RAM, giving it real muscle for multitasking, productivity, and gaming without slowdowns or heat buildup. You can choose between 128 and 256GB of storage, though there's no microSD slot this time. The quad speakers, tuned with Dolby Atmos, fill the room with rich, balanced sound whether you're watching a movie or hopping on a call. Battery life holds steady at around 8 hours of regular use, and the 45 watts fast charging gets you to roughly 40% in just 30 minutes. At only 500 grams, its slim aluminum body feels premium yet light enough to carry anywhere. For most users, this is the sweet spot, a tablet that handles everything smoothly without the premium price tag. Number 3. Huawei MatePad 11.5S. If your priority isn't raw power or screen size, but a tablet that feels natural for writing, sketching, or note-taking, the Huawei MatePad 11.5S is the one to look at. Priced around $350, it features a 11.5-inch 2.8K display with 144Hz refresh rate. Already great specs, but the real star here is Huawei's paper matte display technology. It cuts down glare and adds a subtle texture that makes writing feel like you're using real paper. If you've ever tried jotting notes on an iPad and found it too slippery, this instantly fixes that. Inside, it runs on the Kirin 9000WE processor with 8GB of RAM. It's not the top performer in this lineup, but it's more than capable for productivity, browsing, and everyday tasks. Gaming runs smoothly for most titles, though ultra-demanding ones might need toned-down graphics. You get 256GB of storage, offering plenty of space for apps, notes, and media. The cameras, a 13-megapixel rear and 8-megapixel front, handle video calls and quick photos well, while the quad speakers produce surprisingly rich sound. The 8850 mAh battery delivers 8 to 9 hours of regular use and supports 22.5 watts charging, enough to keep it going through long work or study sessions. Weighing just over 500 grams with a slim metal build, it feels solid yet comfortable to hold. For students, creatives, or anyone who writes daily,
This tablet stands out for offering a truly paper-like experience you won't find elsewhere.
Number 2. Apple iPad. You're probably wondering, if this list is about underrated tablets, why is an iPad showing up? Fair question, but the 2025 standard iPad, priced at $380, actually deserves a mention because it's one of the rare times Apple has offered real value. Its 11-inch liquid retina display is sharp and bright at 500 nits. It's not laminated, so there's a slight air gap that adds some reflection, but beyond that, this screen looks fantastic for the price. Powering it is Apple's A16 Bionic chip with 6 GB of RAM, and honestly, it's in a league of its own here. Whether you're gaming, editing videos, or multitasking across apps, it doesn't slow down. The 12-megapixel front and rear cameras both shoot crisp 4K video, something you won't see on most tablets in this range. Battery life averages around 5 to 6 hours, a bit shorter than the Android competition, but you get unmatched software support, seamless syncing with iPhones and Macs, and access to Apple's deep app ecosystem. The aluminum build feels rock solid. The fingerprint sensor works flawlessly, and while accessories like the Apple Pencil and Magic Keyboard cost extra, at least you have the option. If long-term reliability and raw performance top your list, this iPad earns its spot even in a lineup full of hidden gems. Number 1. Honor MatePad 2. And finally, there's a tablet that looks and feels like it should cost twice as much but somehow stays under $500. The Honor MatePad 2, sitting at around $440, is a powerhouse dressed in elegance. The star of the show is its 12.3-inch 3K OLED display. Rich colors, deep contrast, and a buttery smooth 144 Hz refresh rate. Whether you're gaming or watching a movie, the experience feels cinematic, helped by Dolby Vision and full IMAX Enhanced certification. Under the hood, the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 chip paired with 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage makes this thing fly. It handles gaming, multitasking, and creative work with zero hesitation. The 12-megapixel rear and 9-megapixel front cameras both shoot crisp 4K video, something you won't see on most tablets in this range. Battery life averages around 5 to 6 hours, a bit shorter than the Android competition, but you get unmatched software support, seamless syncing with iPhones and Macs, and access to Apple's deep app ecosystem. The aluminum build feels rock solid. The fingerprint sensor works flawlessly, and while accessories like the keyboard and stylus cost extra, at least you have the option. If long-term reliability and raw performance top your list, this iPad earns its spot, even in a lineup full of hidden gems. And that wraps it up. 5 tablets that prove you don't need to spend a fortune to get top-tier features. From big bright displays to fast processors, creative tools, and even iPad-level performance, each of these devices offers incredible value for under $500. Which one caught your attention? Or maybe you found a hidden gem I didn't mention. Let me know in the comments. I always read your feedback. And before you go, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more straight-to-the-point tech reviews, and check the links below for the latest deals on every tablet we talked about.